hey man, I really think they're going to love it because, the variety I think is what does it for you. Yeah, no, I like this one. I think they're going to like the next one too. So, just go with it, man. Don't worry about other people's judgment. It's your style. Be who you are. Yeah. All right. Listen. Okay. Let's get on with the show. Hey, everybody. Episode 4, Chris and Brick Professional Edition. This is a continuation of episode 3, which was really around some basic management fundamentals. And again, I think I made it clear a couple of days ago, but I'll reiterate just for the sake of making sure that there's always going to be a distinction between managing and leading. This is the leadership portion of becoming a new leader, which is part of management as well. They go hand in hand, which I hope most people think is obvious, but I am certain that there are many out there that may not make the connection. Make that connection. So anyway, the point of this is it's the tool chest edition, right? Basically what I'm doing here is I'm suggesting a few of what I think are some really important leadership tools that I wish that I had when I first started out with some additional responsibilities that included being in charge of other people. And it goes beyond just the productivity that they put out and whether they show up to work on time and things of that nature. Because, once you've taken on and you've said yes to the responsibility of managing and leading somebody, you've now got essentially, in a roundabout way, a family member that you've got to take care of in one sense, and in another sense, it's a family member. It's a resource, and I say it, I mean he or she, or they. Point being is that there are a lot of components that don't always get captured in the leadership toolbox fundamentals. So let me go ahead and run through these because these are the ones that Brick came up with, and he's wearing his Captain America face mask. He was wearing the Incredible Hulk earlier today. He's got a variety of them, and I'm pretty impressed that he has, this really cool superhero theme going on. In any case, these are some of the things. There's about 6 or 7 of them that I think are really absolutely critical to effective leadership development fundamentals, the foundation for really being the leader that people end up finding memorable, finding impactful, finding likable. I know that, taking care of a business, a lot of people say, I'm not here to be your friend, or this isn't a popularity contest, and that's true. But there is a likability factor. And if you can't be liked, then you're not going to be respected. And if you're not going to be respected, even if they're going to do what you tell them to do out of fear or what have you, you're going to end up with, discontent and eventually turnover. And you're going to be looking around and saying, well, it wasn't my fault, when in actuality, you were probably a root cause of the problem. So this is something that I think that every manager who becomes a new manager should also be given the keys to in terms of leadership tool chest. So the first one is really, and I'm going to say it this way, and it's going to be annoying when I say it because it annoyed me when I heard it the first time, when my manager said, you need to learn to develop strategic thinking. Well, somebody needed to tell me what that exactly meant at the time, because at the time I had no idea what the heck strategic thinking was. I didn't know how to differentiate it from any other kind of thinking. And that's, that was one of those things where it was an eye-opener for me when I finally understood the difference between a strategic thinker, planner, doer versus a tactical thinker, planner, doer. So that's number one. And I can certainly go in depth on any of these at any given time with anybody if you want to talk offline, if you want to talk in the comments, wherever. But every one of these things I have a lot more information to share. These are just the highlights to kind of get your brain sort of thinking in these ways. So So that's number one, develop some strategic thinking. The next would be focus on sharpening your decision making. You've got to be able to make decisions oftentimes, on a dime, stopping on a dime or whatever the phrase is. But you got to be able to make a decision at a moment's notice. Thinking on your feet is a big deal when you get into certain leadership roles, and being able to make those decisions without hesitation or with minimal hesitation can be really critical. So bear that in mind. A big one that I'm about to roll out to you here is one that I think people don't put enough emphasis on, and in fact a lot of really high level leaders I think run and hide from it, which is conflict resolution. Conflict resolution is a territory that nobody wants to get into because it requires some critical thinking. That means you may have to insert yourself into conversations that make you feel uncomfortable. But I am a firm believer in get in those uncomfortable conversations, because the more of them you have, the better you get at them, and the better you get at understanding all sides of the story so that you can actually come to a meaningful resolution. And I have well documented and a long history of putting myself in some pretty precarious scenarios just so that I could gain the experience on how to help drive those positive outcomes. So conflict resolution, absolutely critical. Build the team dynamic. You need to understand every member of your team to some degree. If you don't take that time, you're literally treating them like a number. They're going to know it and they're going to show it. So the way you build the team dynamic, you've got to get to know them. You've got to get to understand what they care about, each individually and then as a whole, and then start incorporating that into your day-to-day meetings, into your engagements with them one-on-one, and so on and so forth. So keep that in mind, that team dynamic understanding is very critical. Delegation, very important. Know when to delegate. Sometimes over-delegate. You got to sometimes see the capabilities of your team in action and see where they may have some stumblings. And that's a scary place to be for some new managers, because they're afraid the mistakes are going to make them look bad. But this is also another learning point. You learn how to delegate well, then you're also setting your team up to be prepared for growth. So practice the delegation. Mentorship. This is so undervalued. Mentorship and helping someone understand what mentorship means, helping understand whether you should be a mentor. Pardon me, that's Douglas. Welcome to the new world where we're all arguing with our pets. But mentorship, that's something that really needs to be valued, and you have to do it. You have to encourage it. You have to find people that can help other people. The last one I'm going to say is encourage innovation. But here's the other thing. If you're going to be a leader, don't just walk around encouraging innovation. You've got to demonstrate innovation as well. You've got to put ideas out there and allow your team to shoot them down, and vice versa. There's nothing better than a spirited debate between peers and senior members of the leadership team, going at it and coming away from it with real answers, because we were able to take the tough responses that made us feel, in the moment you might have felt a little bit like, well, that was a dumb suggestion that I made because this guy poked 13 holes in it. But that's how you find the solutions that you're looking for, and that's how you actually bring the team even more cohesively together, because the more you can have a little bit of discord and walk away shaking hands, that's power right there. That's a powerful team. So in any case, these are the tools, man. There's 7 of them. I'll lay them out in the note section on this video, but again, these are great tools that I wish someone would have given me when I was coming up, and given me the confidence to understand that it's okay. The good news is that over time I did experience that with some folks, and it really changed my entire game.